Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome into another edition of the Big Man on Campus Sports Betting Podcast. It is May 2nd, 2019. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're enjoying your Thursday wherever you are. Not a big card tonight, only a few games. We'll get to all of them and more. I don't know how long we're going to be on tonight just because of very little to talk about, frankly. We got two baseball games, got one NBA game, Philadelphia and Toronto, and we got a couple NHL games as well. I've not had a great week on this show. Last night was not a good one for me. Mariners' first five was one of the many last night where it was over pretty early. We'll try to bounce back with a MLB winner tonight. Again, there's not much to bet tonight, so I really won't have a ton going on. But we'll try to find some value. We'll really kind of delve into whatever you guys want to talk about. Obviously I want to see how it all goes here with the listeners and kind of see how many people are in here. I do want to talk about a few things. We'll see, kind of going forward how everything works out. But I hope you are having a good day. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to type them in on the chat box. If you're in here, please hit the like button. And if you're on Twitter, please retweet the show. I'd very much appreciate it. Every day we go on where we don't have hoops, college hoops or NFL. It really, it's just one day closer. We're back to it. But you think about going forward. I mean, it is a long way away till we have anything as far as even college football to talk about. Obviously, you got previews, and those will start, at some point. But there is a long abyss between now and August. So, get out there and have some fun. It's summer coming up here. Obviously, today it's very nice around here. I believe it's in the high 70s. So wherever you are, enjoy the weather. Couple things. Let's get into it here. We'll start with baseball. Just two games on the card here. Every other game was already played. Another day where you have some of these pitchers getting crushed. Fultonavich got crushed. Fred Peralta got crushed. There's been a lot of blowouts recently in the MLB. A lot of pitchers getting knocked out early. We saw a few last night. Mark Gonzalez, Blake Snell. It's been a weird week. A lot of 6-7 nothings in the second inning. You get two games tonight. First one is the Red Sox at the White Sox. Red Sox a big favorite. And obviously, because if they're the Red Sox, David Price is pitching a lot better. They're starting to hit a little bit more. You look all of a sudden, the top of this lineup starting to do the job. They're starting to drive runs in. They're starting to get their averages up. You also look at down at the bottom, Mitch Moreland's doing some good things for them. He's starting to drive some runs in. So, the Red Sox all of a sudden are starting to be a bit backable. The problem is I'm not laying this kind of number on the road. And the reason I'm not doing it is because I actually don't hate the White Sox. I think this lineup's actually pretty decent. Obviously, I don't want to bet on Lucas Giolito, though, so it's one of the reasons I'm not going to play this game. If I had to play it, though, I would hold my nose and take the White Sox. I look at, you look at right now, all of a sudden, I mean, Jose Abreu, 30 RBIs. Moncada, 20 RBIs. Yonder Alonso is having a good season. Tim Anderson, Lauris Garcia. Everybody's hitting for this group right now. And I think they have the offense to hang around here. You obviously want to see what you can get out of Giolito. Giolito over the years has had kind of his stretches where he's looked decent. Not really a ton on this game. I don't really have any interest, but I'm not going to go out and say it. The White Sox are not as bad as people think. This is a pretty damn good lineup at home. So, numbers a bit high for an over. If this was 8.5, I'd have maybe some interest in it. But at 9, it is just kind of an avoidance for me. Thanks for everyone for watching. Obviously, we have much lower listener bases chiming in, which – I find it interesting, but I do thank all of you loyal people that remain here and aren't just around for 1 or 2 seasons. We continue to have fun here every day. Do me a favor, retweet the show if you're out there. That will definitely help. Thanks to CJ for doing that on Twitter. The other game is Toronto and the Angels. A lot of people got burnt last night with the Toronto Blue Jays. And I think we have to realize and remember this Toronto team is not very good offensively. Just because they added one player doesn't mean that they're going to automatically become this great offensive team. This is not a team with very much talent offensively. And they're facing a guy tonight in Tyler Skaggs who is really good. He came off the disabled list, had 5 scoreless innings last week at Kansas City. He comes back this week really with probably a pretty good matchup here. I'm kind of looking at this game and thinking to myself, why not just take the under? I mean, Aaron Sanchez has had a great season so far. He's one of the better pitchers, really out there. In the first 6 starts of his career or in his season here, this is the lowest ERA he's ever had. He's just got to pitch a little bit deeper in the games. The pitch count's too high. And if you can get 6 innings out of him tonight, I think this game's going to go under. These are 2 offenses that are not particularly good offensively. I will say I do kind of like the Angels. I just like, Skaggs' ability to go deeper in a game. But the problem with this number is it's kind of gotten out of hand. I don't usually really lay anything above 140. We have a home team here, so I'm not crazy about laying the run line. I just kind of looked at it and I felt like if I like Skaggs, I want to just take the under because I know the Angels aren't overall a great offensive team either. So for me, I'm going to grab an under here and take a shot with this one, under 8.5 between Skaggs and Aaron Sanchez. Mike Butler, Melvin, LJ, Russ, Adam, Eric, David, Stack, Guap. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let us know. Angels first 5 under. That's a good play as well. I won't disagree with any of that stuff. Anytime you like it under, you always kind of want to maybe look at the first 5 under. Definitely a good one. Thanks for watching, KD. Thanks for supporting. NBA tonight, we got the Sixers and the Raptors. The series is tied at 1. Toronto now a favorite. Sharps betting Toronto. And, I look at this game and, obviously we change venues here. We get the Sixers at home who have been very good there. Now, obviously, the goal for Toronto is, you'd love to win both games, but getting out of there with 1 win is great. And, I'm not a big trend guy. I don't really, I think trends are cool and all, but there's got to be kind of a big sample size. There is a sample size here that I do have a concern with if I like the Sixers. You look at as off a win as an underdog in the next game, the Sixers have really struggled this year, 22-33 in that trend, only about 40% of a cover, which is the worst team in the NBA ATS as far as coming off a win as an underdog in the next game. They've really struggled in these kind of games. I have 2 questions in this game, one of which is, will Toronto get more from Lowry, Gasol, Danny Green, Van Vliet, all these other guys, Ibaka, basically everyone not named Siakam and Leonard, because they really haven't. You look at both these games, no one's really stepped up. It's not been enough, and they're going to need that tonight. The other question I have is, does Mike Scott play? I'm still kind of up in the air on do I think he plays. If I had to guess, I would say that he plays. Do I think he plays a lot of minutes? No. But we have to remember, the other night he was in a boot still. That's not saying that he won't play here. He practiced yesterday. There's not really been any updates. The Sixers are pretty mum on this stuff. I mean, we've seen with Joel Embiid over the playoff course here that, they don't really announce until 30 minutes before, maybe even less. Greg Monroe's hurt. He's going to play tonight, but he's hurt. Boban's not gotten any run really in this series. Again, you need to see if you get anything out of either Toronto's supporting cast and what Philly's supporting cast, because their bench was obviously the difference in the last game. Ennis, Monroe, those guys, they were integral in really kind of defending Toronto. Here's the problem though with Philadelphia, and while they only give up 89 points, they were very good defensively. Don't get me wrong, but Toronto missed a lot of shots, a lot of wide open shots. And, looking at analytics and some of the things, I'm always curious to see how teams shoot in certain situations. In shots classified as wide open, so a wide open shot would be a defender 6+ feet away. Toronto was 9 for 29 from those shots. You got to figure they're going to shoot better in this game. And for even how bad they played in game 2, I mean, they still only lost by 5. And they were in the game till the end. But then you look at it and you say to yourself, well, okay, but the Sixers only got 12 out of Embiid. They only got 11 out of Redick. They got 6 out of Simmons and 9 out of Harris. So you wonder what kind of game this is if both teams play to their potential. I've been on record as saying I truly believe that if you put both these teams on paper, I think the Sixers have a better overall starting 5. I really believe that. Again, we've only seen these guys play about 20 games together. We saw what they did against the Nets when they all played together. They rolled. This is not the Nets, and you're not getting everyone playing the same way. Ben Simmons has been a mystery in this series. He hasn't given you anything. Are you going to get the same bench production? These are hard things to answer. And these are one of the reasons that I really can't say I have an interest in betting this game. Gun to my head, you give me a free bet, I would slightly lean Sixers, but I don't have a bet on this game. I think it's really tough. I think we've uncovered issues with both teams, and sometimes you go with the best player in the court. That's Kawhi Leonard. Sometimes you go with the home team. If this got to 2.5, maybe I'd have interest in the Sixers, but with the current line, I'm just not interested. I think there are too many question marks. I think this is truly a toss-up game. And I think when both teams play well, I think we could get the best game of the series. With the pace of this game, you have to figure, though, the over at some point is going to come in. Neither team has put up to their potential. Could this be the game where both teams kind of find a zone offensively? Because in the first game, the Sixers couldn't score. The second game, Toronto couldn't score. So there's really nothing here to bet that makes sense and makes you have much interest. To think that you can get the Sixers bench to give you what they gave you in game 2, I mean, it's kind of a pipe dream. Tough read, tough game. I don't see any edge in it. And frankly, I live in the world of facts. I don't really see an argument you can make to bet this game. I don't really see like the opinion, like where you would have one feeling for the other. It's going to be a good game to watch. It's going to be a great chess match. I'll be watching it for sure. A couple questions. Am I going to the game tonight? No. What's up, AJN? I like the Raptors, but I think the best bet is Philly in the first quarter. They will come out fast. Interesting. It's definitely possible. Toronto favored in game 3 on the road. Yeah, that's definitely – I mean, keep in mind, they didn't open as a favorite. They've been bet up. So, obviously people like Toronto here. What do I think about the over? Again, I pretty much answered that. Do I like Portland in the series and after a convincing road win? No, I don't. I think that game will go deep, though. That series will go deep. But I think Denver's a better team. Joey, what's up? Thanks for watching, Joe. It's very nice of you. Jeff, I have a question for you that's such a biased answer. The Sixers have no bench. Okay, what's your question? Because I agree. I don't think they have much of a bench either. They need Mike Scott back. If Mike Scott plays, I would gun to man, I'd take the Sixers. But if he doesn't play, I don't like it. Gun to my head over. Raptors and over. Okay. Yeah, I don't think either I don't think either answer is a bad decision. So in NBA, I have no interest. In the MLB, I do like the Angels and the under, but nothing overly in love with on that card. Let's see if we can find something in hockey. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think we're going to be able to find something here. I am taking the Bruins again. The Bruins let me down. What was it, Tuesday night? And look, they need to win tonight. They're down 2-1. If you want to win this series, you got to win a game on the road. And I think they're going to tonight. We really haven't seen a ton out of their big boys. I think we get it tonight. Do I have any real statistical information? No, I really just have a feel in this one. Look, I've talked about it. I just have fun with hockey. I don't claim to know a ton about it. I do know that people that I definitely respect in the hockey business are on Boston, which is definitely good. Just have a feeling tonight. I've liked this Bruins team. I think they're going to win the whole thing now that the fucking Islanders are done. And yes, the Islanders are done. They're not coming back. The other game, you have some injuries for the Sharks. No Donskoy, no Pavelski. I haven't really had much of a read on this series. I don't really know a ton about either team. But I do kind of like the Bruins tonight, but I wouldn't put my word on it. I don't claim to know much about hockey. Can Houston rebound, and will they get both at home? No, they're not going to get both at home. I think that series is over. I think they can maybe win a game, and I think they will win one game, probably game 3, but I think it'll be 3-1 by the end of the weekend, and that will be that. Do I trust how many minutes in the Sixers starters have been playing that can be sustained? No, they can't be sustainable. I don't think they can be sustainable. Could you depend on Greg Monroe and Boban Marjanovic and Jonah Bolden? I mean, no. That's what you need Mike Scott, because Mike Scott could take minutes from those guys. I have no interest in Jonah Bolden in these games. I have no interest in Furkan Korkmaz in these games. Shoot-around's important. That's a good point. You got to obviously know Mike Scott's status. I think he can really help them tonight. He's obviously a crowd favorite. He could shoot the basketball. He's a good defender. He's to me, one of my favorite bench players they've had over the course of the last few years. He's been really good energy for them off the bench. So we need Mike Scott tonight. I think San Jose gets it done tonight. Okay, there you go. Brian likes San Jose. I don't know what Brian's resume looks like, and maybe he's just a fan. I don't know, but he likes San Jose. Tonight's Sixers game, Jimmy Butler, total points, rebounds, and assists over 30.5. I think you kind of missed out on that one. Obviously, I think the last game would have been the time to do that, but I have to think Joel Embiid step up, Ben Simmons give them more. I just, is there going to be enough opportunities for Butler to do all that? But, again, I don't really bet a lot of props, so I can't really answer that. But he's been playing well. No way, Canes win it all. Okay, sure opinion. Is Embiid still sick? I don't think he is anymore. No, they've had 2 days off. I'd be very surprised if he was still sick. I don't think he is at all. Remember Jason Tatum called the other night under 16.5. Oh, that was you? Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. Good call. I don't know if that hit or not. I guess it did. Nice work. I'm on Sharks tonight. Yep. Seems like everybody's on a little something here. So, not a ton to talk about here. We talked about all the games in about 20 minutes. So, again, I'm willing to stay on for as long as you guys want me to stay on. All of you loyal people, I appreciate it. You guys are true fans, and I thank you. I am still working on some things behind the scenes. So we'll see how that kind of goes. I've kind of been toying with starting something new, something totally different than what I'm doing here. I really want to kind of do something else and have kind of my foot in the door doing something else. Not necessarily another career, but I have interest in other things outside of sports betting, and one of them is always been organized crime. I enjoy history, I enjoy reading, I enjoy kind of delving into everything crime. So I'm kind of toying with doing something with that. I did record one podcast already, basically just kind of telling the story of certain characters and stories from the American mob. It's really kind of a history thing. It's kind of an intimate look into certain different things, and I don't really know how it'll be received. I don't know if that's something people would even care about. I know people do like, occasionally some of you guys in here like, talking about, news and things like that. But, I don't know how it'll be received from, a standpoint of, sometimes whether I do anything in life, I can't really do anything without it being related to sports. Like if I watch like the Sixers game and, I say something about being a fan, people always kind of relate it to sports betting, and it's hard to kind of ever be taken seriously in like other things. And this is totally different from anything else. So I kind of wanted to focus more on like stories that maybe people aren't as familiar with. Everybody knows about John Gotti and Paul Castellano and all these different things. So I always kind of wanted to kind of talk about other things, but I always kind of wondered the thoughts on if people would like that or not. Am I into bank robberies? No. Do I like learning about them and reading about them? Sure. Do I commit them? No. I think that's what you mean. Do I like reading about them? Sure. I mean, whether it's John Dillinger or Bonnie and Clyde or whoever, sure. Bank robberies from a organized crime standpoint are somewhat low. Not many criminal groups are committing bank robberies. I know, back in the day out in Chicago, the Hole in the Wall gang, out in Las Vegas, they were bank robbers. Obviously you have some of the things going on up in Boston, as far as like the Charlestown and that kind of stuff. What else? Obviously, some of the smaller fringe groups of the American Mafia, the Bath Avenue group, people like that, they committed bank robberies, but not really. I mean, most of the stuff that I enjoy is like criminal organizations, Eastern Europeans, Italians, even black organized crime, stuff like that. What else do we have here? I love you on Family Guy. Okay, I'm not really sure what you mean. I don't watch that show, but thanks for watching. I mean, you always come in with very witty comments. I'm sure your family, whoever they are quite proud of who you are. You literally never offer anything positive. You're just some loser hater that wishes he was me and isn't. But thanks for watching, as always. What else do we have here? Jeff, would you ever be open to joining SBR again? Is it true that you and Maxwell Smart had differing of opinions, and that's why SBR let you go? Don't answer if you don't want to. Well, I mean, I've ever not answered any question. I have no problem talking about any situation. First of all, would I ever join SBR again? Yeah, sure. I mean, listen, I don't have any issue with SBR at this point. We had differing of opinions as far as the way they were going with their programming. Here's how I feel, and it's very simple. Since I was a kid, since I was very young, basically, I've immersed myself in this business, whether it's sports betting, whether it's learning about sports betting, whether it's, anything related to sports. I've worked very hard to do the minimal things that I've done already, to get the followers that I've had. And to me, followers are important. Followers are how I grow my business. And having a lot of followers is important to me because that's how people listen to me. That's how people buy into what I'm doing. And that's how people know who I am. And I do not, and this is no knock on anyone that listens and wants to do this, but I will not put someone on that was a listener of mine. I just won't. I'm a professional. I feel I'm a professional. I feel what I do is something that no one can do here. And I mean that. I don't think anyone can get on this camera and literally off the top of my head do everything that I do. I'm under a lot of pressure with doing this kind of stuff. And I just didn't, I wasn't supportive of where they were going as a company. And they wanted me to do certain things that I didn't want to do. And look, I want to make this very clear. The people that you're mentioning, Maxwell, guys like that, I don't know those guys. I may have had one interaction with that guy, and it was in my DM, him asking me to involve him in the business. I don't interact with him. I have nothing bad to say. I wish him the best. I'm kind of over like going back and forth with people. I just don't really care anymore. I mean, I'm doing my own thing, and I'm sure he would agree. I mean, I don't make him any money. He doesn't make me any money. I don't really. I have nothing. I don't know the guy. I just can be factual with what I say. I don't. I didn't know who he was until he contacted me. I prefer just to work with people that are more established. That's all. And again, I hope he is successful in doing what he does. I hope he makes money doing what he does, because if you're not making any money doing everything that they do, it's not really worth anything. I don't have any issue with the kid. I wish him the best. I just choose not to do certain things with them. That's all. I feel that I'm the professional in this show, and I don't prop people up just to prop them up. I prop up people that work hard and that have done this for a long time. I think the problem with the business that we have now is too many people are involved. Too many people have the voices, and they shouldn't have the voices, and they do. And I'm not talking about anyone in particular. I'm really just talking about just the business in general. Everybody is in this business now. Big man, you should make a Twitter that is not sports related. That would be huge. Yeah, I guess. I don't really know how I would grow that though. Is that Tupac? Is that a toupee? I don't know what that means. What's up, Anil? Kevin Berg, Alex, thanks for watching. SBR is a joke. Okay, well, listen, we're not going to talk negatively about them. If you don't like their programming, I don't blame you. I like Red Sox and Blue Jays. Yep, we already went over the games. You're welcome to listen back. If you have any questions on anything, feel free to send them in. You want to talk about anything, I will bring it up. You have an issue with me and you want to present it, now's your chance. All right, Ty. A lot of us are new to sports betting. People are getting into it every day. Any chance you can explain SBR and what their overall goal is? I'm trying to wrap my head around the industry more. As far as what their goal is, listen, I'm not gonna. I really don't know. I don't know what their goal is. I don't understand if you're trying to put out content why you're getting rid of, Peter Loshak and me and other people. I don't know what their goal is. I can't answer that. You would have to ask them. That's something they would answer. I just worry about myself and trying to continue to grow my name and kind of get the football and get through the summer. Saw a show about pork rolls. Are they as good as people say? Like a pork sandwich? I wouldn't know. I don't eat pork. That's kind of something I don't do. So I can't answer that. I don't eat pork. But to compare that to like a cheesesteak, I don't think there's any comparison. Have I eaten pork? I have, like when I was younger, but I don't eat it now. Yeah, Ty, I don't know, man, to be real with you. I really don't have an answer for you on that. You would have to ask them. The problem is Jeff is the new sports bettors go to SBR because it's free and easy to watch. Yeah, I mean, okay. I guess that's true. To be honest, you and Loshak are very entertaining. Thank you. Appreciate that. We try to be. Canelo or Jacobs? I'll go Jacobs. Have I ever watched Chopper, America's Notorious Criminal Guy? No, I haven't watched that. I don't know who that is. I'm not really I'm not really cut into the Australian crime groups, but I'll definitely check that out. Am I religious? No. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not religious. I mean, growing up, I was a devout Catholic. I mean, I went to church every week. I was at mass every week. I was confirmed. I got, everything. I got my everything. Would I get married Catholic? Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm pretty old school. I mean, I still pray regularly. Um, do I observe mass still? No. And that's really due to the fact that there are certain things about the Catholic Church that I have a real problem with. And I'm not going to really get into those, but I think we all know what they are. I grew up Catholic, though. My family is Catholic. My grandparents basically lived steps away from the church that I grew up going to. So for me, like every Sunday, I would go to church and I would walk to their house, and that was kind of the life that I had. So I mean, church was, mass was kind of important. And as a Catholic, I mean, I would go to Good Friday and all the different stuff. But as I got older, I really kind of soured on some of the things about the church that, again, I think that, I think I can have my own relationship with God and things like that, and praying, and you're just being a good person, trying to be a good person, and to me, that's the religion that I deal with. Now, I will say, the girl that I'm dating now, she's Jewish, so I mean that's something that I will have to kind of cross when I get to that point. And I've researched Islam. I'm gonna have the Quran literally right next to me here. I'm pretty much someone that I learn about all different religions. I mean, I think there's good things about them all, and I think you can take something from all of them. So that's about the extent of religious that I am. Have I listened to any new music albums recently? Um, can't say I have. I mean, occasionally, I listen to stuff front to back. Um, but no, not that I can remember off the top of my head. I keep your head up. Your time will come again. Yeah, listen, I'm not really worried about my time, Joey. I mean, I'm doing quite fine on my own. Surprisingly, you might not think I am. I'm not really sure what you mean. My time will never go away. I've been here when times are slow, when times are high, when times are fast, when times are bad. I don't go away. That's the difference between me and a lot of people. I've seen people come and go on Twitter. They're the cats meow for a couple weeks, and then people move on. The real people are the ones that are able to build an industry. They're able to turn their shit on, and people watch it. And that's really for me what I care about. So, I mean, I have some stuff in the works that's kind of moving, and you know, like a lot of these sponsors that I work with and stuff. I mean, that's stuff that helps me as well. So, I'm doing fine. I'll be okay. I support. Okay, good luck. Am I in my late 30s? No, I'm in my 20s. I'm 29. Jeff, last question. Seems like you've said last question a couple different times. Do you know what the Quran preaches? It talks about hatred towards Christians and Jews. Well, actually, it doesn't. Second of all, most religions do have a lot of law, and um, you know, if you're not that religion, then you're not something or people that we want to do business with. When I was growing up, being Catholic, I was told that anyone that wasn't Catholic was you know not a child of God. I was told growing up that if you were homosexual, you were a mortal sinner. I was told growing up that if you commit masturbation, you're a mortal sinner. Please stop with that. Let's not have agendas. This is why I don't talk religion. It's not a thoroughfare to people to slam other religions. I feel that everyone should be able to believe what they want to believe. You believe what the media tells you. Maybe you should go to your local bookstore, buy a Quran, and read it. Stop with the hate mongering. I'm not going to put up with that. Um, but yeah, that's that. We'll stay on for another 5 minutes or so. If you have any last minute questions, feel free to get in touch. I really want to see what is up here with Mike Scott. Do we have anything on him yet? I will be on with Gabe Morency and Cam Stewart at 6:09 Eastern. So check me out on that segment on Fantasy Radio. See what we see what we got here on Scott. 5:30 injury report. Scott's still questionable, and probable is Greg Monroe. So still have nothing on Mike Scott. That's probably going to be one of those good old game time decisions. Wherever you're born geographically, that's what you are. Okay. I mean, not always, but fair enough. Get on that over tonight in soccer. Good luck to all. I'm not sure what over you're talking about, bro. Maybe I missed it. All right. Pseudo Americana Copa Guarani and Deportivo Cali goes over tonight. Okay, there you go. Guarani goes over. Okay, well, listen, Joey. Listen, man. Do me a favor. Cut it out. Stop with the. Listen, I'm going to tell you one time. Stop with the religion talk. We're not getting into that. We're not getting into what you like or don't like. Um, Also spell it correctly. What's Quran? What is that? I don't know what that is. Let's just talk about something else, okay? So I'm not going to get into what is what is what with what if you believe then that's fine. Um, but thanks for the comment, Jeff. Do you know what is the only country that is carbon negative? Carbon negative. Yeah, I do actually. And it's a small country. It's called Bhutan. It's in Asia. It's near India and China. Yes, I do know. Do know that it's Bhutan. Good question though. The soccer show on SBR is complete shit now. Sorry to hear that, man. Um, I mean, I hate to hear that. You hate to see that, as they say. But hopefully, whoever they have on figures it out. But all right, guys. Your girl's from Bhutan. Very cool. Very cool. All right, guys. We're going to wrap up the show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the comments and participation. I do appreciate it. If you want more Big Men on Campus, which I'm sure many of you do, you can listen to me on Fantasy Sports Network coming up at 6:10 Eastern. I'll be on with Cam Stewart and Gabe Morency. So make sure you join me for that. I'm sure I'll be live tweeting tonight's Sixers game. I also just saw a video of Joel Embiid walking in to the stadium. He looks good. Looks chipper and ready to go. So I wouldn't be concerned with that. Did I see that cyclone hitting India? Yeah, I mean, any kind of cyclone or typhoon is always cyclone or typhoon just sounds terrible. Pray for those people. Also, I saw some people with some really brutal comments to Enes Kanter. I thought that was pathetic behavior by those fans. Yeah, I'm sure Enes Kanter would love to go back and see his family and all his friends in Turkey, but unfortunately, due to his thoughts and belief in democracy, he's not allowed back into Turkey. You inconsiderate, you know, subhumans, whoever you were. And look, we know who you people are. You're the people that voted for a certain individual, and you hate everything that's not, white Protestant, and you have no idea what strife is like or struggle. So, and again, you probably go home to some really nice house, and you have no strife whatsoever in your life. So you decide that you're just going to belittle anyone that isn't just like you. Really pathetic. And I hope some usher, wherever they were, I hope that person was removed, because that has no place in our society. Most people that cry out and hate others really have they've never been involved with despair or want for anything. So they really don't have to worry about it. So they don't worry about it. They just kind of poorly harass others because of it. Shame on those people, really. Seriously, shame on Denver fans. That's pathetic. Yeah, they were telling him that he should go home to Turkey, which is really kind of pathetic, I think. Um, Enos has some coconuts. Yeah, he definitely does. Tough guy. Definitely isn't afraid to speak his mind, and he should. The people of Turkey are being unfairly ruled by Erdogan, who is a complete nut job. Very sad. Hopefully, he sometimes is able to see his family and friends. All right, guys, we are out of here. Everyone have a great night. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back Friday with another show. Might have some Kentucky Derby talk with someone that I know you guys know. We'll see. We'll see how it all works out. Everyone have a great night. Bye-bye.